and become a warrior, keep these inserts, and turn them on it. So, there you go. How do you get rid of inserts? That one way. Why get rid of them? If you can do this, do it the other way. We are then defeating the enemy. Either way, we're defeating the enemy. We are no longer controlled by those SOBs. Now, this is not just lizards that are doing this, but the other unholy four, or three of the four. I say the green, or the grays, the one we call insect or bee people, the little grays with the big eyes, this is a different matter. They are not into fear, energy sucking.
Right.
They are into trying to get our emotions, and that's how they got out of their emotions, thinking that they were going to get rid of hate and wars and stuff. Well, in that doing, without trusting God to evolve in that way, they decided to be God, and therefore they did get rid of hate and every emotion they had. And that in turn was the emotion of love, which in turn connects the emotion of love to an erection, ejection, and whatever the women call it. I don't know, receiving. I don't know what women call it. But until the species of these grays, the females, if they exist, I've yet to see one. I hope that there's some. But anyway, they have no sex life and haven't had it for hundreds of centuries, or at least 100 centuries. They have no emotions whatsoever. When they are working on you to do an insert as part of their job of the unholy four, they don't realize they're hurting you. They have no emotion. They have no idea what hurt is.
Right.
They don't know that you're very afraid. They don't know what fear is.
Right.
They are total emotionless beings trying to get emotion back. They used to have that. And so they are working with the others in the unholy four. They are one of the four. And though the others are using these acts by pressing buttons and turning you on to fear and hate, all the goodies that they like to suck on in their little whiskey shop, the grays are watching the reaction when somebody's being raped or stabbed or this or that. They're watching the reaction, the emotion that is going on. They're studying that because that's what they're trying to get back. So therefore, in that way, they are as bad as the others. They do not suck in those emotions. They study those emotions.
Right. They're like scientists.
And so anyway, there you go. The story of the inserts.
I have a question that's a little bit off subject, but not quite. The cloning concept that obviously the Greys know how to do, and probably all the other four know how to do, to clone, I'm correct?
Our government has been cloning since 1946, 7, or 9.
That was my next question. Now,
Successful clones,
right,
I'm speaking.
Exactly. You may not want this on the tape, we may want to erase this, but is our current president a clone?
No.
Is he cloned?
Without prayer, unanswerable at this time.
Okay.
He is involved with the Illuminati. And his father, much, much more so.
Right.
I think his father is probably got a lot of lizard blood in him. And therefore, our president now has. But is more human, both of them were, than of the lizard blood. But enough lizard blood to be in the Illuminati and the secret societies, a hierarchy of the governments. And is he a clone? No. Has he? Now, there is a great possibility he's been cloned, and there's clones waiting in case something does happen to him.
Right.
You know, just step in and you'd never know the difference.
Right.
But, and there is a possibility that cloning has gone on somewhere down the line prior to Dad and Mom and Grandma and Grandpa maybe.
Right.
And beyond that. And started up by that. But frankly, I don't think cloning is needed in the Unholy Four. They clone.
Right.
It's particularly the Greys. Almost all the little bee people are
clones.
Well, they're plants.
Right.
But they've been cloned to be that plant.
So
And
in
they're
other words-
raised like a plant.
Right. So they do not have souls.
No, they do not have souls. They do not. But the ones
They're
that
makers.
did it, the true Greys, which look like them, taller, quite a bit taller, longer arms, longer legs, skinnier, they do have souls. They're the ones that invented these little ones. Now, the little ones, souls or not, are getting
A consciousness.
a consciousness of being a race.
Right.
So, soulless or not, they're going to try to uprise against, that's their intention, to uprise against their masters, the few true remaining Greys, the taller ones. And then, take over the masters, and then we'll take on the rest of the three. Because we know how to clone ourselves, we know how to water our garden. And we can do it in a mass thing. So it's like China can outgun us simply by manpower without a gun in their hand. They can run right over us. And they can do the same there. And the other three are well aware of this. So they have weaponry to try to take care of masses of them. It's a never-ending battle, a never-ending backbiting. You're maneuvering around with new weaponry and so on and so forth, and trying to keep the knowledge away from the other of the four.
Have they successfully created a cross between humans and those clones, or themselves?
Unknown at this time.
Okay.
I'd have to ask and see.
Okay.
I know the Greys do not have sperm. So they could not cross with something that had sperm. Unless it was another plant, they couldn't do it. All right? Is it possible that the Greys, I'm talking about the short ones, not the true Greys, is it possible that they could clone a female? Frankly, I guess it's possible. But the fact is they have no sexual organs at all.
Right. I understand that. So that they would have to do this through just...
They have to first make a male Grey and a female Grey and cross-pollinate.
Right.
It would not be a sexual act like ours, although it might be in the same action, the same form.
Right.
But it would be pollination, not sperm and egg. Because they are plants. And then again, why have to make a female? Why have to make a male? They can do without that. They just go out there and water the garden and have another clone like themselves to set free and be part of the brotherhood that have overcome the true ones. So I don't think that we have any problem with these little guys doing that. But they are used by the other three to do a lot of the capturing, abductions, ship piloting, the ships. And believe me, most of these ships, not all, but almost all these ships that are being seen are plants too. Now, this is going to sound very gross. But I'd hear 5 of us, plus myself, stood and watched 2 of these Greys' ships go directly over our head. Unfortunately, we didn't catch it until they were past our head, and really low. I doubt if they were more than